It's not just superhero movies that can have awesome mid-credit scenes. Turns out political biopics like Vice can do it too. Trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for the end credits, guys. Hey up, guys! So today's film up for discussion is the new satirical biopic, comedy/drama about one of America's most influential and notable political figures, Dick Cheney, who's played in this film superbly by Christian Bale, in the new film from writer-director Adam McKay, and it's called Vice. Vice shows us how a monotone Yale dropout from Wyoming went on to become one of the key players in the shaping of modern American politics. Vice, in a sense, feels like a distant relative of Adam McKay's previous film, The Big Short. Completely different subject matter. The Big Short was about the financial crisis, and Vice is all about George W. Bush's running mate, but the stylistic trademarks of Adam McKay are very much present in Vice. The writing is punchy, the pacing is zippy, thanks in part to the fabulous kinetic editing of Hank Corwin. The fourth wall gets broken, there's comical cutaways galore, there's no Margot Robbie in a bathtub to explain the unitary executive theory or the Gulf War, but it's in a similar tone to those celebrity cameos from The Big Short. To tell you too much about them will deflate the impact of watching it for yourself, but I will give you some clues. Award-winning retrievers, Shakespeare, and Alfred Molina. You'll know it when they happen. It's that delightful mix of McKay's playfulness and wit. And whilst Vice is quite long and throws a lot at you, I wouldn't say it's a laborious watch. It's quite breezy and very entertaining. Political figure movies I can often find quite dry and unengaging, but with Vice, it has just the right amount of satirical dressing in order to zhuzh up what could have been a very dry, boring salad. First of all, Christian Bale's performance is astounding. Never one to shy away from ballooning up, buffing up, or shrinking down in order to play a role, his physical transformation into Dick Cheney is certainly impressive, but even if Bale hadn't gone the extra mile and gained the weight in order to play this role, I still would have been blown away by his performance. Bale has studied his subject meticulously. Everything is immaculate. The accent, the postures, the hand gestures, the demeanor. In a word, Bale is faultless. And the supporting cast in this are all tremendous. Steve Carrell has a part in this as Donald Rumsfeld, and he's really good. Sam Rockwell as George W. Bush is spookily accurate. There were a few shots in this film where I was like, is that Sam Rockwell, or is that stock footage of George W. Bush? Tyler Perry is also in this as security advisor Colin Powell, and it's a small but substantial part. And Amy Adams, oh my god, I love Amy Adams. She's in this as Dick Cheney's wife, Lynn, and she is such a strategist, and you can tell that she had such an influential part on crafting the Cheney empire. She's a headstrong woman who shaped this lump of clay, Dick Cheney, into, well, I guess still a lump of clay, but a lump of clay that went on to be the youngest ever chief of staff for the White House, the Secretary of Defense, and then the Vice President of the United States. It's cliche, but behind every great man is a great woman, and she really did push him in the right direction. As always, a fantastic performance by Amy Adams. Jesse Plemons is also in this, and he is the mystery narrator of this story who has a connection to Cheney. And when the revelation comes as to how he's connected to Cheney, it just strikes you out of nowhere. I'm not sure if Jesse Plemons' character was as necessary or as impactful as Adam McKay was probably hoping it would be, but it was an interesting choice to use in the film. Special mention has to go to the hair and makeup department. The prosthetics in this are very believable. I couldn't tell what was Bale and what wasn't Bale. Where did the prosthetics begin and where did he end? And the editing by Hank Corwin is spectacular. Adam McKay is so lucky that he had Corwin to reel in all of these ideas and different cutaways and stock footage. Like, there's so many ideas coming out of McKay's head in this film, and thankfully what keeps it all glued together is Corwin's editing. He manages to make it all feel like it has a purpose in the story that McKay is trying to tell. And there's a lot of symbolism in Vice. Like, the whole fish hook metaphor is used quite a lot throughout the film, and you see how Dick gets what he wants by baiting his adversaries into giving them what they want, and then he gets what he wants. It's very well done in the scene with the chicken wings between Dick and George W. Bush, and how he finagles himself into a better position of power by saying to George, give me the same level of power that you have and I will take the job. Dick Cheney had a massive influence whilst he was working in the White House. even though the VP role is considered more of a symbolic job. As for negatives when it comes to this film, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Dick Cheney as the Vice President. It would have been nice to see a little bit more of how he was pulling the strings of George W. Bush. And I will say that Vice doesn't really offer any new information for the viewer to find out on Dick Cheney. It's mostly just regurgitated facts that we already know. But Adam McKay does address this at the start of this film because Dick Cheney was a very private person, and Adam McKay tries to cover his ass by saying, "We did the best we effing could." So yeah, you don't really get anything new. And my final negative is that some of the stock footage and cutaway footage does feel a bit hit or miss. Some of it works, but some of it doesn't. In the end, guys, I will say I enjoyed watching Vice. It was very engaging with lots of laughs and drama. Bale delivers a truly phenomenal performance and is backed up by a rich roster of supporting talent. And I'd say it's got a good chance of winning some Oscars. Definitely Best Actor for Christian Bale. Probably hair and makeup design, and best editing. It is a bit overly stylized in the same way as The Big Short was, and at times it does feel like Adam McKay is trying to recreate the same magic that he had with The Big Short. But I will say, I don't think that Vice is better than The Big Short. I feel like The Big Short had a better sense of cohesion. But it's still a very watchable film. Right, it's 3-question time. Firstly, would I watch this again? Yeah, I'd definitely say it's rewatchable. Secondly, would I recommend it for you guys? I'd say yes. Great performances, direction's solid, got great pace, smart script. It just feels a little bit excessive in places, overly stylized. And third question, what score am I going to give it out of 10? I'm going to give Vice a score of 7 out of 10. There we go, guys. That is my review of Vice. But of course, this is just one bloke's opinion. What do you think of Vice? Whatever you think, be sure to get involved in the discussion in the comment section below. If you guys like my content and you want to help me out, please don't forget to click subscribe. And if you guys want to follow us on Twitter or Instagram, all the info is in that description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. For more things related to movies, TV, and popcorn culture, I'm Luke Hearfield, and I'll see you next time.